Okay, I want to firstly dedicate this l'chaim and this get together and this learning. And we have with us Shmuli Brill, who is our guest chazan today, which we're very excited to welcome. I see him in the corner there. Shmuli, want to see your face as well, you know what I'm saying? So I want to firstly dedicate this class in the merit of Chana Bas Yerucham, and I see Gerald's with us, and I want to wish Gerald a long life for his late mother, who's Yortzites this coming Shabbos, tomorrow, and I also want to wish a long life to the Ziv Mishpacha, and we know it's Bernard Ziv's Yortzeit today, Baruch Shalom ben Aryeh Leib, and we ask that in the merit of all of our learning and all of our davening and all of our being together, his neshama should have an aliyah. And please God, all those who recently had their yortzites, I see Sheila's here. I wish Sheila a long life for her recent yortzite. And please God, we should see a lot of blessing, a long life to everyone. And you should be safe and healthy during this unique and trying time. And please God, we know that one of the most important and powerful things that we can do is to study. And I want to share with you, I think, one of the most amazing tefillahs. You know, if one was to ask you the following question, and I see Cecil here as well. Cecil also has a yortzeit for his late mum, so wish him a long life as well. So if I was to ask you, out of every tefillah, every prayer that you could choose in the Siddur, which one would you choose to be the most sublime, the most holy, the most powerful prayer? Okay, so what would you say? Alan Huth, what would you say? If I was to ask you the most powerful prayer out of every prayer, what would you choose? Just unmute yourself. Alan, you're a pro at this. Sheila, give him a bit of a whack, man. He's forgotten how to use Zoom.
I've given him a whack.
Good, thank you.
Shmona Esrei.
You would say the Shmona Esrei. Excellent. The Shmona Esrei. And why would you say that, Al?
Because it is the prime prayer that everybody should say every day.
Good.
Or 3 times a day.
Good, excellent. So you know the Esrei?
Of a number of different brachas.
Very good. Very good.
18 brachas.
18
19
brachas.
actually.
Good, excellent. And Bernard from Oatzorn. Bernard, is that some...
I would say Amida, but Shema Israel. Shema Israel.
You would say Shema Israel, of course. Shema Israel, yes. And I see the Gottliebs agreeing. Shema Israel is one of the most powerful tefillahs, one of the most powerful prayers. It is the adage, it is almost the raison d'etre of the Jewish people to say Shema Israel. And we understand Shema means the oneness and having a state of oneness and unity in terms of our experience of life and feeling that Hashem is one in our lives and not feeling that everything's in a chaotic space. But there's one that I would add to this combination of prayers, which most people absolutely have no idea exists. And even if they know it exists, they have no idea how important it is and what role it plays. So the prayer that I'm about to reveal to you is the prayer called Ana Bakoach. Okay, Ana Bakoach. And we're going to have Shmuli sing the prayer for us, Ana Bakoach, but not yet. So the prayer Ana Bakoach, I'm going to show you so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, here is the prayer Ana Bakoach, if everyone can see it here. Ana Bakoach. If you know the tune, which I'm going to sing, but I'm not your surprise. I'm not your surprise chazan here for today. But the tune, you know. Ana Bakoach gedulas yemincha Yeah, that's the tune that we're very, very affair with in Shul. And we know that this is a prayer that we sing just before which part of the service, Gerald? Just to see that you're still awake. I know you are, though.
Adodi.
Lecha doidi. Well done, Sheila.
Yes.
You beat Gerald to it. Amazing. Amazing. So we sing Ana Bakoach right before Lecha doidi. Okay. Now, we're told that this prayer is one of the most powerful tefillahs that a person is able to say in their life. And in fact, the Kabbalists bring down that every time we recite this prayer, Ana Bakoach, it says that we return to the time of creation. We almost enter into an uncorrupted energy that existed in the world through just saying Ana Bakoach. Now, Ana Bakoach, which I'm going to explain why it's so powerful, was written and formed by an individual called Rav Nehunya ben Akana. And he lived in the 1st and 2nd century and was considered as one of the most powerful individuals and one of the most powerful prayers ever created. Now, this is part of the element of Ana Bakoach that many people are not aware of. Okay? Now, if you've ever seen Ana Bakoach in the Siddur, okay, it comes along with the following letters, okay, on the side. I'm not sure if you've ever seen these letters on the side, but you can see in the blue here, all of these little letters, Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Yud, yeah, etc., etc., all of these little letters on the side. And you'll notice in your Siddur, they're also there. Okay, in your Siddur, and you'll notice this is the way that it appears in the Siddur. Let me see if I can get this alignment. Okay, right there, you can see those little letters right next to it. Now, those letters, we know, are not for naught. Those letters, we are told, are in fact the letters that make up the 42 letter name of Hashem. Okay, so we know that there are a number of names that God has, and one of the most powerful names that Hashem has is the 42 letter name. Okay, so that itself is probably very novel for many. We thought, okay, there's a number of names we know we can't recite, but the 42 letter name is brought as one of the most powerful names of God. And in fact, it was lost for many, 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 many centuries. We had no idea what the name was. We knew it existed. We had no idea what it was. And in your art scroll, you'd be able to find it right on the left-hand side of Ana Bakoach. Now, what does this prayer mean? And why is it so powerful? So I'll tell you the following story, which is quite astounding and quite confronting, but it gives us a revelation to understand what this prayer represents. And the story is told about Elisha, who was a prophet. And Elisha, it says in the Gemara in Sota, was walking through a city, and there were some children in the city that started to poke fun at him. And it says that he recited the 42 letter name of God, which is written right here on our pages, and a bear came out of a forest and consumed these recalcitrant individuals. Now, very, very strange story, and not really a story you want to hear coming into Shabbos. What on earth does that mean? So, to jump straight into the depths of what this story represents and to understand what this powerful prayer represents, the story is there to indicate something very powerful. Every single one of us has two modes of existence. One mode of existence is found in the number 6. Okay? And another mode of existence is found in the number 7. Cecil, what do you think the number 6 represents? Let's see if he knows how to unmute himself. Anyone want to put a bet? 50 Rand, if he can unmute. Raul, you in for a bet there? Yeah, you're in. Cecil,
Unless Pat's there, he's got no chance. Man.
no chance. Hey,
Rael,
no
Make
chance
it 100.
whatsoever. Hey, Gerald, what does the number 6 represent?
I got no idea.
No idea. Anyone know? Hilton? Malcolm? Robertson, Judy? What's the number 6 represent in life? You're all too shy. Come on, this is mishpocha here, guys. What do you
Isn't 6 Mishnah?
good? Okay. Shisha Sidre Mishnah. There are 6 Mishnayos. Very good. Judy Freeman. Wow. Work day.
Days of the week.
Excellent. Very good. Robertson Freeman. Very nice. And I'm not sure why you had to spoil the photo there with a cat, but that's okay. Well, we won't hold it against you. But that's very, very good. Okay, so in fact, we know the number 6 is one of the most resonant numbers in the sense that we say, Ki sheishes yamim, for 6 days. Excellent, Derek. Hashem created the world. For 6 days, we are meant to work. And then the 7th day is the day of rest. So now we learn from this that we have 2 modes of interaction, 2 modes of engagement. 6 is physical, 7 is metaphysical, 7 is spiritual. Now we understand that 6 days of the week we work, 7th day of the week, we connect to Hashem in a deeper way, which is our spiritual day called the Shabbos. Okay? Now, what the Kabbalists tell us is the following. When you take 6 and times it by 7, you get the number 42. Okay, 6 times 7 is the number 42. And what the name of Hashem, the 42-letter name of Hashem represents, is the nexus, is the evolution, is the growth from 6 to 7, from physical to spiritual. Now, what you'll notice is that in the actual prayer, we say the words Tatir Tsarura. Tatir Tsarura, the way that it's written in the Askro, which I don't think is the exact translation, is untie our bundle. And it adds in the bundle of sins, which is incorrect. It doesn't say sins there. It says untie the bundle. Now, what this prayer of Ana Bakoach represents is untying ourselves from being bundled up in the realm of 6, in the place of work, in the place of mundane. We say this prayer every single time we are elevating ourselves from 6 to 7. Now, I heard someone say, which was correct, when do we say this prayer? Well, we say it just before Lechadoidi, because that's when we bring in the Shabbos. But you'll notice we also say it right in the morning before we even start to pray in order to enter into a deeper state called R7. Now, the 42-letter name of God, again, which is 6 times 7, represents this ability to evolve out of the physical. Now, let's go back to our story of Elisha. Who remembers which animal came to consume the recalcitrant children? Imagine those in school. Yeah. What was that?
the bear,
The bear. Very good. The bear. Now, what is a bear in Hebrew?
dove,
A dove. Very good. We got a number of members in Oats. Rael, you're not in Oatshorn, hey? Oh, Gevalt. Yeah, so we have our rabbi, the mayor of Oatshorn here, all the way here from Oatshorn, Gevaldik, the dove, yeah, the bear. Now, what happens if you take the letter Daled and bet? The letter Daled is the numerical value of 4, and the letter Bet is the numerical value of 2. 4 plus 2, 6. What does it mean? That when Elisha came along and recited this prayer, the 42-letter name of God, that the bear came and consumed these individuals, he saw that they were constricted in themselves to such a degree that when he recited this name, they almost couldn't evolve. They couldn't go beyond their 6. And what it was that destroyed them was their own physicality. Okay, they were stuck in the bare existence, in the state of physicality, and they couldn't go beyond that. So in summation, what this prayer represents is the transition between physical and spiritual. You'll notice we say it just before we bring in Shabbos, in order to get into that state, into that pure existence that's within us called our soul. Now, this is the final question for extra points, okay? Who can tell me what is the relevance of this prayer to the parasha? What is the relevance? And Bernard, you can't answer. What is the relevance of this prayer to the parasha? Anyone know? This is for extra points. If you get this, you are crash hot. Come on.
That's to do with the Ari Miklas.
Excellent. What do you mean? What do you mean, Malcolm?
Shabbos is like an Ira Miklat for from the week, I suppose.
Okay,
I don't know. That would be
so the Ari Miklat, and we know that how many cities of refuge were there?
Sheish, 6.
6, and then it says in the Torah, 42 were added.
Yeah, that's
6
right.
and 42. Now, what is the Ir Miklat, the Kabbalists bring down, is saving someone from death and bringing them into life. And what we're learning here is this prayer is what takes us out of the mundane, which is a place of chol, which is like sand. It's physical. It has no spirit, no livelihood, nothing that brings a person a state of feeling alive. And it brings you into a state of life. And that's what it means that it's an Ir Miklat. Now, there's another reference in this week's parasha to this prayer. Anyone know? Very good, Malcolm. Danny, pat him on the head there. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Now, any other reference here? So, come on, Kaimovitz brothers. Warren, you can't just stare at him. You know, come on. Raul, what's another reference? We know that there are 42 journeys that the Jewish people went on. 42 journeys you'll count in this week's parasha. And the Baal Shem Tov tells us that every single one of us has 42 journeys that we take in our own lives from being physical people to evolve into a state of spirituality. And this is the power of this prayer. Anytime we say Ana Bakoach, it gives us the koyach. It gives us the strength to transcend our physical and enter into the spiritual. And this, please God, should be a blessing for all of our dear chevra and all of our beautiful community, the Jewish people and the entire world, that we should be able to elevate ourselves into a place of 42. Now, to conclude, there's a famous story or a famous TV show. Not that I've seen it. I actually went and looked it up to actually see it. There's a show called The Twilight Zone. And in The Twilight Zone, put up your hands if you know what I'm talking about, The Twilight Zone. Danny, thank you, you know. Oh, the Gottliebs, very good. Cindy. So The Twilight Zone, there's an episode there where 2 astronauts who are traveling space end up finding this massive computer, this alien computer. And you can ask the computer any question you like, and it'll give you the answer. Any question. So they ask, what's the meaning of life? What's the purpose of life? And the computer says, well, it's going to take me, 50 years to come to an answer. So they're sitting there 50 years. They were young men now. They've become gray. They're sitting there. The camera comes back 50 years later. And the machine starts printing something out. And the answer that comes out of them, I have no idea how they got this in The Twilight Zone. The answer that the show gives, that the meaning of life is the number 42. 42. Who would have known? The most important number in Judaism, apart from 3 and 6 and 7 and many other 10, there's many important numbers, but we've added one very important number, and that is the number 42. Because what it represents for us is that every single one of us, no matter how much we feel bound, no matter how much we feel constricted, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, sorry, that is totally right, Judy. You are totally, as always, on the ball. Thank you. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, not from the Twilight Zone. So the number 42, Hashem should bless us that we should live a life of 42 where we're able to transcend all of the physicality. Obviously, we should have a lot of blessing in our number 6, but we should be able to enter into the 7, into the Shabbos that every single one of us have inside of our souls. And I want to lead in to ask Shmuli to sing for us and just give us a bit of an intro about who he is. I'm sure everyone knows who he is. And then if you can please sing for us this beautiful, beautiful prayer.
Thank you, Rava. I appreciate it. And shkoyach for your Dvar Torah. Yeah, I mean, I'm a singer. Obviously, I came to Osameach a few years ago. So for Yom Tov, and it was really wonderful. And yeah, so I'm really excited to be here. And yeah, it's just I'm hoping that it's going to be a fun time with you guys. And obviously, I'm going to sing Ana Bakoach, like Rava said. And you know, this song is actually one of my favorite songs. In fact, the specific tune, you know, generally we would sing the typical Anna Bekoach Bekoach, but that's more like because it's a bit, you know, people want to leave short as soon as possible, so we try and make it as short as possible. So never actually get the opportunity to sing this tune of Anna Bekoach, the slow one.
That never happens at Or Sameach. The people never want to leave shul. They want to just stay. They're happy to stay. They don't rush out. You know, so it's fast here.
So hopefully, if I come back to Or Sameach, then I'll hopefully give this tune live one day. So yeah, let me sing for you. Yana Ana Bechonia Dulat Yemincha Tatir Terura Kabelina Yana bekoyach dulat yemincha tatir teura kabel rinat amcha sagvenu tarenu noa nagi bodo sheyichutcha kevavat shobrem bachem tarem rachamem titkadcha So thank you. The next song is Leman Achai V'Re'ai. Obviously, it's in the shul service, and once again, one of my favorite songs, maybe even my favorite Shabbos song. So yeah, excited to sing this.
Shmuli, I felt like the first one. I didn't want it to stop, man.
Leman Achai V'Re'ai, Leman Achai V'Re'ai, Adavona Adavona Shalom למען החי וראי למען החי וראי אדבנו Shalom למען בריש השם אלוהינו בקשה תאהב לו אוי השם אבויד לימו ייתן השם יברך חסמוי ושלום אוי ay da 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 dee da da ay da 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 dee da 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 dee da 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 dee da da dee da 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 dee da 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 da.
Shmuli, that was brilliant. I've had to avoid, saying that because, it's a bit cliche, but it was brilliant. And what I want to do, though, before you end off, is I want to sing the Mana Chai Vereya once more. But I want with everyone with your cameras on mute, or not your cameras on mute, your mics on mute, I want everyone to be singing this at home, and I want to see you singing this at home. Okay, so Shmuli, if we can have it once more, my man.
Oh.
Okay, but everyone singing, I want to see you singing. Sing like you're saying you're amazing. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Beryl, I can't see you singing.
Hashem Elokeinu b'ksha ta'ev lo Hashem Yama Yiten Hashem Yavayim.
Amen. Beautiful, Chevra. Well done. Good Shabbos. Gewaldig. Leman achai vereya. Please, God, it should be with much blessing for everyone. We should see shalom not only around us and the entire world, but we should see shalom in our own lives. We should see great joy and great transcendence into the number 7, please, God, as we enter into Shabbos. May we bring in that holiness. May we bring in that blessing. We thank Shmuli Brill for joining us. We thank our Otzon contingent for joining us. And we thank all of you, our beautiful, beautiful people, and my mother-in-law, Rebbitzin Gordon, joining us from Ramat Beit Shemesh. Mama, say hello.
Thank you. It was amazing. It was such a treat, and to see everyone, it was gorgeous. I wish you all a beautiful Shabbos.
Thank you, Mama La. Thank you. We love you all, and we love all of everyone that joined us. Have a beautiful Shabbos, and please, God, will
Rabbi,
see you next week. Yes.
Rabbi, can your mother-in-law please send a message to my son Moshe, Rabbi Moshe in Ramat Beit Shemesh also?
Yes, Rabbi
Moshe Gottlieb.
And good Shabbos to you all.
Rabbi, please, can your mother-in-law just drop a parcel for me, please? Just a parcel, please.
Good Shabbos. Have a wonderful Shabbos.
Shabbos, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Rael.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbos, Rabbi.
Good Shabbos, Rabbi. Have a good one.
On you too, guys. Lots of bracha.
Shabbos.
Thank you. Thank you. Lovely, lovely.